Your day was never bad because something bad happened. Your week was never bad because you had a lot of bad days. Your life isn't bad because, bad things keep happening and you keep getting unlucky, stuff like that. Your day, your week, your life is bad only when you decide to make it bad. That's just it, man. If there's anything I've learned in these years of my life, it's that life is only bad when you decide to make it bad. Because I'll tell you what, man. There's people out there that have everything, and they just get everything handed to them, and they get lucky with everything. And they have all the things they wish, that most people wish and dream that they had. Yet, they still find every reason to complain, to be miserable, and just to hate on life. And then there's people out there that have nothing, bro. They have just the bare minimum. They have just the bare minimum to get by, if even that. And they're also the same people that are smiling, that are friendly and nice. It's funny because I just saw, not too long ago, an older lady who was like, I was taking a walk around this lake, around this path, around the lake, and she was like this older lady, like just had like this, like a walker, and she's like barely moving, bro. And I felt so bad for her. I really did. I was like, man, this poor lady can barely move. And when I walked past her, she gave me a big smile. She's like, good morning. And then she just started like talking like all nice about life. She's like, oh yeah, that storm wasn't that crazy, and like it's such a beautiful day to be out here, like I'm glad to be out here and stuff, and like just starts talking like all nice about life and stuff. I'm like, dude, this lady can barely walk, and yet she's still smiling, just at the simplicity of being able to get out and see the sunshine. And yet there's people, man, again, that have everything, bro. I've seen people that have everything, so many things like we all dream to have. And yet, I've also seen some of those kind of people that just complain about everything and find every reason to get miserable and down about life, and then they start bringing you down too. So, like, the point is, man, is that if there's anything I've learned, it's not about what you have. It's not about where you are. It's not about whatever. It's about what you make of it. I used to hate wintertime, be depressed 6 months out of the year, and yet, ever since I decided just to change my attitude and learn to actually like it, yeah, of course, summer's still my favorite season, I'm still going to be honest. But I've learned to enjoy winter even more. And now, I'm not depressed 6 months out of the year. Like, I've actually learned to make the most of winter. And I used to hate being single and not having a girlfriend. And you know what? I decided, like after being so, down about being lonely and alone for so long, I decided, I'm not going to keep living my life this way, bro. It's too short. There's so many things that I can be doing right now. Like, I've seen people that have been lonely, alone their entire life, and yet are still smiling. So you know what? I'm going to make the most of this thing. And sure as heck, dude, whether I have a girlfriend or not, I'm making the most of life. I'm loving life. Whether I have my dream job or not. And you know what's funny? I still have doubts and worries and fears if I'm ever going to accomplish what I believe my purpose is in life. What I believe, or at least what I believe one of my big purposes is, what I believe, the main work that I need to be doing is, I guess you could say. And yet, I think to myself, you know what, whatever. If it doesn't end up happening, if God doesn't allow it to work out, no matter how hard I work at it, He doesn't allow it to work out, then you know what? I'll just see what else He has in store for me. You know what? I'm gonna make the most of this life. I'm going to make the most of this life, whether I'm single or whether I have a girlfriend and get married and have kids, even though I want a family and kids one day. But I'm going to make the most of this life regardless. I'm going to make the most of this life whether I have my dream job or not. I'm going to make the most of my life whether I have all the friends in the world or maybe just a couple friends. Heck, even if I have no friends, whatever. I'm going to make the most of this life. I'm going to make the most of this life whether it's summer or winter, whether I'm tired or energetic, whether I'm lonely or not. I'm going to make the darn most of this life, because I remember I used to be like a really negative person. I used to be really freaking, believe it or not, I used to be really negative, man. I used to always just give attitude to people, and I would always start fights with my family, especially my dad. I would always just start fights with people, just because I was, always giving an attitude and always just being a butthead and just being negative about everything. And it brings people down, bro. It drains people just to be negative. But in fact, it not even just drains people, but it drains yourself. Like, I drained myself being negative for so long, and I finally got to a point one day where I'm like, I can't take this. Like, I can't even take being negative. I'm draining myself, bro. I can't keep doing this. So ever since then, I've just decided, like, to take the things that I get negative about and just try to make the most of it. And I'm still going to be real, bro. I'm still, like, I'm not saying just to go around and act like everything's perfect and, you know, sunny. Like, no, that's just not how life is, man. Sometimes life's not perfect. Sometimes I'm tired as heck, man. Sometimes I think to myself, I'm working so hard and so long, yet I'm not getting the payoff that I deserve. Sometimes I think to myself, like, you know, when am I finally going to succeed at something, like, huge in life? I mean, even though I have succeeded at some huge things, like looking back at my past self, but, you know, sometimes I just, like, you know, if I'm being real, sometimes I work so hard and I just feel like I don't get the payoff I deserve. Sometimes I feel like, you know, I try to bring around positive energy and people just try to drain me with their negative energy. Sometimes I get annoyed at life. Sometimes I get tired. Sometimes I get stressed, bro. Like, you should still be honest. And I'm still honest too. I'm still honest. You know, I'm still honest. Like, I actually thought this morning that, you know, I've been working so hard and yet I feel like I'm barely even making enough to kind of get by on what I need to get by on. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like why? I thought hard work pays off, you know? But then you know what I said? I said, you know what? Screw it. I don't care how hard I have to work. I don't care. Like, I'm going to make the most of this darn life. And then I literally put on a song by No Copyright Songs called Feel Good. It's called Feel Good. And so even though I kind of was, like, thinking this way, like, oh, man, like, what the heck, bro? This is, like, I deserve more based on how hard I've worked. Like, I'm still making the most. I'm still going to make the most of this darn life. Whether I'm working as hard as possible or you know, like making enough just to get by or I'm alone or, you know, I'm not feeling all that great. I'm having a bad day, bad week. You know, even with when my car broke down last week and everything went to, oh, that was the biggest headache, bro. That was the biggest stinking headache. I mean, the one day my dad and I worked on my car for 10 hours and didn't get anywhere. We ended up having to trade the dang thing in for $500. So if you think about it, well, actually, I guess if you think about it, well, actually, no, not $50 an hour because we didn't even get anything done. We actually, like, made things worse, actually, just by trying to work on it because we broke a wire. We had to replace it. It wouldn't even start at one point. It was such a headache. And that was just one of the days. Like, this whole car thing lasted a long time. Even when I went to the White Sox game, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Time's going by so fast, I can't remember. But I remember, like, before the game, like when we went to my friend's house to pick up some of our friends, and then before we got in the train, like, I was calling people for 2 hours between dealerships and mechanics and tow trucks just to try to actually get some reliable person to get it towed over there and fix it. But no one's reliable anymore. So it took like 2 hours, and it was just a pure headache. It was misery. I was so drained. And even I had like a pretty long work day before that, so I went to work, had that long work day, and then had to deal with that headache for 2 hours. And I remember, like, on the way to the Sox game, when I finally was done on the phone with all these people and everything, I remember just thinking to myself, like, oh, I'm so drained right now. But I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna have a good time tonight, and it's gonna be it. And sure enough, I made the most of that night, and that's all I've been thinking about for like the past week is just going back because I had such a good night, you know. So listen, man. Listen, from someone who used to hate winter and be depressed for 6 months out of the year, from someone who used to be negative about everything and give an attitude to people, even when things were going good in life, even when my parents, my family's taking care of me, like throughout middle school, throughout junior high school, from someone who used to be picked on, bullied, the little nerdy kid in class that, you know, no one would ever pick or want to really, like, be partners with. My other friends were respectfully other kind of nerdy kids. They can vouch. They know that they were nerdy kids too. But I mean, we were good friends and stuff. We still had a good time. From someone who just like deals with so many people that just like to bring around negative energy and try to drain them. From someone that, you know, used to hate being alone, used to hate being lonely, used to just find every reason to pick on and complain about life. Used to stay up at night because of his anxiety. Like, taken from someone who's gone through all this negative stuff. It's not about any of that, man. It's not about any of that. Now, yeah, I still have anxiety sometimes. I still stress and worry like everyone else does. I still get lonely. I still have bad days. I still get annoyed by the people who try to drain you in life. I still get headaches from, you know, stuff like my car breaking down or certain life situations. But you know what? It's like, yeah, even though those moments hit, and they hit pretty hard, like, I still don't let it ruin my day or my week or my life. I still say to myself, like, I don't care what it is. I'm going to make the most of my day. I'm going to make the most of my week and my life. I'm going to make the most of it all. And yeah, I'm going to have some bad days. Yeah, I'm going to have some bad weeks. Yeah, I'm going to have some times where I'm stressed, worried, annoyed, whatever. But the overall picture, is I'm going to make the darn most of this life, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. Because I used to, like I said, I used to drain myself from my own negativity, and I got so annoyed by it, I couldn't take it. So now I have just like this stubborn positive attitude. And again, realistic attitude too. Again, like, you know, again, not everything's all perfect and sunny and everything. I'm still real about life. It's good to be real. Otherwise, you're just going to be living in some fantasy world. It's gonna turn on you, trust me. It's good to be real, but the reality is you can also make the most of everything that, you know, that you get in life, whether it's negative or positive. There are people that get all the positive and turn it into negative. There's people that get all the negative, turn it into positive. So you know what? It's not about what you have. It's not about where you are. It's not about whether it's summer or winter. It's not about whether you're alone or you have all the friends, you have a good girlfriend. It's not about any of that, bro. It's not about any of that. It's about what you decide to do with this life. It's about the attitude that you decide to wake up with every morning. It's about the life that you decide to live. That's what it's about. It's not about how you feel. It's about how you decide to live, what you decide to do with all of that. That's fine. Have your stressful moments. Have your anxious moments. You're going to have some bad days. That's fine. But the overall picture is make the darn most of it. Have an attitude that's so stubborn that says, like, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone tries to do to me. I don't care what this life tries to do to me. I'm going to make the darn most of it if it's the last thing I do. And wake up with that attitude every day, man, and live by it. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. And now I go through all those things I used to look at as negative and hardcore and just negative and all those things that made me a negative person. Now I take control. I play the game. I don't let it play me. I play it. And I make the most of it. That's it. I make the darn most of it. Because you know what? I might not be here tomorrow. I might not be here next week. I might, whatever. You know, obviously I pray to God I am. But anything can happen. This life is too unpredictable and too short. But you know what? I'm going to make the darn most of it if it's the last thing I do. And I'm going to freaking not just do it for me, but also for the love of others too. Because positive energy, it spreads like a good virus, man. It's good. And it brings smiles to people's faces. Sometimes even just saying, like, have a good day to someone can take someone who's, like, been feeling down about life just to kind of at least having a little ray of sunshine on them. Whereas negative energy also spreads like a virus, but in a bad way. You know, it drains people, it annoys people, it brings people down. You know, positive energy and negative energy are both viruses. Which one do you want to spread? You know, you got to spread one of them. Which one are you going to spread? So yeah, do it for yourself, but also do it for other people too. But yeah, man, do it for yourself, because you will drain yourself trying to, you know, or you will drain yourself if you just have this negative energy all the time. So, you know what? Make the darn most of this life, and don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. And don't let anyone ever make it negative for you. That's the bottom line. Even if you have fights with people, even if you have arguments, whatever, don't let them ruin your entire day or life. That's just the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Make the most of this life, and don't let anyone or anything tell you otherwise. Make the most of it, no matter how difficult it gets, no matter how hard it gets. That's how we ought to live. And once you do, I'm telling you, so much freedom, so much peace, so much, like, love for life. And you know what, too? I'm going to be going out on a walk around this lake, and you know what? It's humid out. And let me tell you something. I'm not a big fan of the summer humidity. I'm not a big fan of... Ran out of storage. Had to delete some things. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of the summer humidity, and I'm not a big fan of sweating my butt off. But I'm still going to make the darn most of this walk, because it is nice out. And it got, like, a beautiful kind of, like, sunrise in the background. So, you know what? I'm still going to make the most of this walk. One, because I need it. But two, because I got a little bit of free time. Heck yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. It's nice out. What the heck, man? It's a nice place. I love coming here, so you know what? There it is. There's all the positives, regardless of the, you know, couple negatives or whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go do that. But I will be seeing you in a little bit for the workouts. Well, you'll be seeing me in a couple seconds, so I'll see you then. This is just kind of like a cool view of the walk that I'm on. It looks a bit foggy, and I think it's mainly because of the humidity. But either way, sunshine, or I guess more of like the sunrise, like, you know, clouds in the background, along with the lake and just nature. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Good morning. So I just had to get this shot. It's beautiful. And oh, man, sometimes it's crazy how even when like you got a lot going on in life and in your head, and especially as a man, like us men got a lot going on in our heads. Like it's just crazy how sometimes something as simple as nature, or like a morning walk, whatever, can just like just bring a smile to your face, bro. It's free, it's everywhere, and I mean, you just gotta look at it, enjoy it, and embrace it, type of thing. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. So thought I would just get this shot. And now that beautiful view too, had to get a little shot of. Really nice, with of course the lake around here. Absolutely beautiful. I love the good old smell of mulch and wood in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, it actually smells really good. It's just really strong.
I wanna know your dark side. I wanna know your secrets. I wanna be your lifeline. So I wait for you, wait for me. Wait for you, wait for me. Tell me you're more than just a highlight. Pretty pictures on the outside. I hate to stare at you through these lights. So I wait for you, wait for me. Wait for you, wait for me. Click and scroll, I can't let you go. They say I'm addicted to you. Click and scroll, I can't let you go. They say I'm addicted to you. Oh, oh, this ain't love, no, no. This ain't love, no, no. This is artificial. This ain't love, no, no. This ain't love, no.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's nothing like a workout after a 11.5-hour shift, plus, tornadoes hitting the area and, severe storms, stuff like that throughout the day. And, and then the day off with the workout. There's nothing like it on that kind of day. Because I'll tell you what, whoo, I better sleep good tonight, because if not, I'm going to be questioning my entire, body physiology, chemistry, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be questioning why the heck did I not get a good sleep tonight. There's no way, bro. But now that I said it, now that I said I am going to get a good sleep, now I'm not going to. But now that I said I'm not going to, you know what? I should just stop talking before I start jinxing everything. Nah. No, but yeah, realistically though, I mean, if that doesn't get you a good sleep, 11-hour shift, crazy day, not just like a nice calm shift, no, crazy shift, 11.5 hours straight, of course with little meal breaks in between, but that plus going in, hitting the gym, I'm telling you, man, dedication sometimes can stink, because sometimes after that kind of shift you just want to go home and throw on a movie. But hey man, when you're dedicated, you're dedicated, and you just gotta roll with it no matter how tough it is. So that being said, at the end, at least there's a beautiful kind of sunset, at least sunset sky at the end of the day. End off the crazy day with the big storm with a nice calm, and end it off. That's how all storms end, man, in your life. When there's a storm, there's always that beautiful sunset on the way. There's always that calm at the end on the way. You just gotta fight through the storm enough to get there, So yeah, let's read a little bit of God's word and call it a day, shall we? And also, I don't know where I'm gonna put the walking around the lake clips, but I might put them either here or before the workout. I guess I'll just see what happens. Where do I want to put them? Not a really big decision, but when I'm throwing the clips together, it'll hit. So you might see them after this, or you might have saw them earlier. Anyway, let's just go read God's word, shall we? All right, we're leaving off at Luke 8:40, so here we go. Now when Jesus returned, a crowd welcomed him, for they were all expecting him. Then a man named Jairus, a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come to his house because his only daughter, a girl of about 12, was dying. As Jesus was on his way, the crowds almost crushed him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." Then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she had touched him and how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." While Jesus was still speaking, someone came from the house of Jairus, the synagogue leader. "Your daughter is dead," he said. "Don't bother the teacher anymore." Hearing this, Jesus said to Jairus, Do not be afraid, just believe, and she will be healed." When he arrived at the house of Jairus, he did not let anyone go in with him except Peter, John, and James, and the child's father and mother. Meanwhile, all the people were wailing and mourning for her. "Stop wailing," Jesus said. "She is not dead, but asleep." They laughed at him, knowing that she was dead. But he took her by the hand and said, "My child, get up." Her spirit returned, and at once she stood up. And Jesus told them to give her something to eat. Her parents were astonished, but he ordered them not to tell anyone what had happened. Boom. And that finishes off Luke chapter 8. Do not be afraid, just believe, and she'll be healed. And sometimes we got to live by that, not being afraid, but just believing that it'll all turn out well in the end, even when you don't see it or understand it or see how it could possibly turn out well. Because, before you know it, you're going to go through whatever that hard thing is, and then it's going to turn out good in the end. Sure, it may be kind of a train wreck or a big storm throughout the entire thing, but in the end, it'll turn out good, That's just it. Sometimes we got to stop being so afraid and just believe that, hey, it's all going to work out. And ironically, it does. It might sound like cheesy advice. Oh, it'll be all right, Oh, it's all going to work out in the end. But, if you just believe that and have faith in God that it will, then it will. Even if that end takes years to come, it'll still work out in the end. Doesn't mean the next day, doesn't mean the next week. It could, but it may not. It could mean the entire next year or the next decade or whatever, but it'll all work out in the end, man. You know, and in the end, we just gotta not be too afraid, keep our heads up as high as we can, good attitudes as best as we can, and go from there. You know, just believing it'll all work out. Because with God, it always does. His plans always prevail. So that being said, this has finished it for today. Yeah, let's go become the great men we were born to be, man. Let's go become the great men we were born to be and become the great men God made us to be. And I'll see you tomorrow to continue the journey. Peace.